don't intend to stand long and let one of these come after me. And it feels like everything that was on my mind is kind of lined up with what he's already been preaching to you this morning.
Yeah.
You know, I look at what him and Rachel has done, and the first thing that I think about when you see a little baby that's abandoned like that, Brother Brandon, and then somebody else would come along and open their arms and say, "Come into my house." And, you know, and I thought about when the world had turned its back on me, Brother Larry, and there was one that opened his arms to me and said, come into my house, and I'll take care of it. Like the world can't this morning. I'm telling you, we've got so many problems going on in the world today that, you know, I try to look at the world and the things that's going on, and then I just think, what would Jesus say about this, or what would Jesus do with this over here? You know, the world, they tell us, you know, to go into our homes, and Brother Shad, they told us to lock your doors, and don't let anybody in, and don't come out, but just hide in there, you know, and for fear of what is to come. And Brother Larry, that's what the world wants us to do today. You know, the world even try to close these doors over here. They tried to shut the church doors. But you know what? There was a door opened about 2,000 years ago. And God, He said, no man can shut that door until He sounds that alarm. That door is going to be wide open, brothers, today. And I'm thankful for that, but you know, and I think about what would Jesus say about all of us hiding away in our homes and not going anywhere. You know, and just like when He come, you know, Elijah got afraid one time because he was the only one that was left. He said, they've killed all the other ones, and I'm the only one left, the prophet. And so he was hiding in a little cave. The Bible says, there come a great wind to that place right there. And Elijah said, well, the Lord, He wasn't found in that wind. But then, what followed the wind said a great earthquake comes under that little cave where he was at. And the Lord wasn't found in there. And then a great fire come there. And the Lord, He wasn't in there. But then He said that He heard a small, still voice unto Him. I love what my Lord told him. Son, don't hide away in here. He tried to tell the Lord, they've killed everyone, and I'm the only one left. He didn't say, they locked the door, but He said, son, get out of the cave. I want you to go. I want you to stand out here on the top of the mountain. I'm telling you, what we ought to do today is we ought to be standing on the top of this mountain and shouting to the world. You know, Jesus even come one time after they had crucified Him, and the disciples got scared too, and they was all locked away in a little room for fear of the Jews. They said they was afraid they was going to come and kill Him too. And you know what? The Bible says that Jesus appeared to them. Come right in. You know, that locked door didn't keep Him out, Brother Larry. He came right through the door. He is the door today. And He come into there where they was at. You know, and just like Elijah was, He didn't say, boys, keep the doors locked. But He said, you are going to be endued with power here. Power from on high. And what I want you to do, I want you to go out and I want you to preach to every man, every creature upon the earth, and tell them about me. I'm telling you, we don't have time to hide away in our homes, but we ought to be out telling the world to come meet a man that'll tell you all things.
That's right.
sometimes I just read about what I think Jesus would tell us in times like this, and and I can't help but think like that sometimes, even when the disciples got scared that he told them to go. And you know what? When he sent them just a little bit of that Spirit, brother, they weren't so afraid anymore, but they, no doubt they felt just a little bit of that power that he was talking about. And, sometimes I can feel a little bit of that, and it makes me feel strong. That's right. When I'm weak, and he can get a hold of me, and he can make me feel like I can almost fly away. Larry, and it makes you not be so afraid of what the world's going to say or do to you anymore. But it'll make you say, well, whether they kill me or not, I'm going to stand for you, Lord. Whether this virus takes me out or not, I'm going to do what you want me to do. But as Brother Shad talking about his babies there, it caused me to think about some things, about being humbled just a little bit. And I thought about when me and Morgan was about to have Uriah, and we didn't know anything about it, Brother Shad, and we went into the hospital there as she went into labor, and it was a long process, Brother Brandon, and luckily we had all our family was around us. You guys know how it is when one of us go into the hospital, it's not a quiet room ever, Brother Jeremy, but we went in when she was about to have Uriah, and it seemed like it was just one problem after another. I can remember just laying there through the night, and one time the doctors, they rushed in and they was flipping Morgan back over on her side and putting her on something else, and I didn't know what was going on, but I knew something wasn't right. And then when they began to tell us, they said the baby's heart rate has dropped, and it just scared us a little bit because I didn't know what to do, and then come time for Morgan to get her epidural there, and just one more time, nothing could go right. Some people, they say, they get poked one time and they say it's the worst experience they've ever had. It took them 9 times to get 3 different doctors tried. The most pain I've ever seen her in my life. Brother Brandon, I got sick to my stomach watching them try to stick her with this needle here, and Brother Larry, it was hurting me because I couldn't do nothing about it. Just one thing after another. But like I said, we had so many people around us to kind of comfort us a little bit, and it made it feel good. But you know what? Everything turned out all right. But just a few months ago, this virus was going around, and we went back to the hospital to have our second little baby there. Brother Shad, and this time they told us nobody's allowed in, nobody's allowed out, just the 2 of you. I had to leave Uriah with my mom and dad for 2 days, and he never really stayed away from us. So he was worried about a lot of things, but not only that, I started thinking, what if something goes wrong this time? There's nobody there. And Brother Larry, I started to get afraid, and us having to put our mask and everything on, and I thought, them telling us they're the only 2 allowed in here, and nobody else is allowed in, but what they don't know, Brother Brandon, I tell them back home is I snuck somebody in here, Brother Larry, but they couldn't see him, but I could feel him, and this time with nobody around, but the Lord with us, and you know what, it was smooth sailing, Brother Larry. We didn't really run into any complications this time. When I was all worked up and afraid of what was going to go wrong, but the Lord said, I'm right here, son. You don't need nobody. You got me today. You see, that's the difference between the world and God today. And you know what the world would do? And the world would look at me and my wife and say, it's not in your cards to have any babies. you too, Brother Larry. I don't worry so much about what the world tells me anymore, because as long as I got Him, I got all I need today. You all know just a little bit about running into some complications, and maybe not knowing everything that was going to happen, but I'm glad that even when, in times like that, when it seems like everything is going the wrong way, it don't take much for God to step in and just turn everything around. He's in control today. Yes, He is. And I'm glad for that. I just wish the world could understand this morning that we're not here just to put on a show, or we're not here just to be here and look pretty, but I feel like little David, that there's a cause, there's a reason for us to be here today. I was reading that story, so I love to tell that story of Elisha so much, and just about how what he did, when the enemy come for him and they had him surrounded there. And, it's one of my favorite stories in the Bible. And I read it the other day, and I took something just a little bit different from it, because, I'm always stressing how when it looked like the enemy had him and his army surrounded there, that there was angels all around him, Brother Brandon. But you know what them angels did for him there? They smote the enemy with blindness when they had come to seek his very life. And, but I love the words that Elisha told these men when they were blinded there. He looked at them and he said, you men, I am not the one you seek. And he said, this is not the place that you're looking for. But he looked at them and he said, come and follow me. I'll take you to the man that you ought to be seeking today. I thought about that, and I want to tell the world, don't look unto me, but come, follow me, and I'll show you the man that you're seeking today. I'll show you a place that you ought to be seeking. Brother Larry.
So true. Thank you, Lord.
I thought that was so pretty how he put it, and most people would seek vengeance maybe on the enemy there. Elisha showed them mercy, and he took them in and gave them food to eat and something to drink, and took care of them. And I'm glad that mercy is still on the throne today. And and I thought about that little story, and I'll tell this. I didn't mean to take too much time, but I'm going to tell this, and then I'll get out of the way and let one of these come. And I told that little story when me and my team just a couple years ago, we won the regional tournament. We started to go to the Sweet 16, Brother Larry, and we're just a little single A school, and we didn't have such a good draw. We was drawing one of the better teams in the tournament. I actually, after we won, I watched this team's regional championship game, and I heard the announcers talking on there, and they was talking about how this team was going to have such an easy first round game, and how they had it paved to the Final Four, and I don't even know if they knew who he was, Brother Larry. They didn't think much of us, and and we got down there at Rupp Arena, and I went into the locker room, and we started to do our little pregame there, and I just pulled out my book right here, and I told them that story of Elisha and how God, when everybody else, all they seen was the enemy, but Elisha, he seen something. He was looking a little bit higher than just the enemy. I try to give them hope in times like that, and I know God ain't gonna just let us win every game, but I want them to understand about there is a hope today. And so I told them that little story, and and we fought all game long, but come at the end of the game, we was down by 3 points and 3 seconds left in the game, and this was the last game of the night, and I looked up, and people were leaving the arena, and I had 3 seconds to draw up a little play, and I throwed it in. We threw it in, made 2 passes, and my boy just turned around and threw it up, and it was nothing but net. And so we went into overtime, and in overtime, we found ourselves again down 3 points, brother, and this time the ball it fell into the hands of one of the smallest players on my team, one of the worst free throw shooters. Any of you that know anything about a free throw percentage, he was shooting 40% on the year. Brother Jeremy and this kid who got fouled on a 3-point shot, and so I just kind of thought, well, we're done now. He made his first 2, and then the other coach called a timeout to try to ice him, and he walked back out, and he made the 3rd one nothing but net, Brother Larry, and went into a second overtime. This boy, he was kind of like our Christian leader all year. He would always huddle the boys up and pray with them. He would always try to bring them out to my little church. And as this boy walked over between the overtimes this time, he was crying, and I could see chills all over him. And at this point, I couldn't even do nothing but just smile a little bit. And so we went into that second overtime. Guess what? We was down 3 again at the end of this overtime. And I had another kid on my team. I'm not one of our best players. He was shooting about 17% from 3. And at this time, everybody else was afraid to shoot it. And the ball fell into his hands, and he threw it up, and it went in. And we went into a 3rd overtime. I'm sitting there. At this point, I'm thinking, boys, we can't lose. And so we went into that 3rd overtime, and at the end this time, we was up 3 points, and they probably got 3 or 4 shots, and they couldn't get one to go in, brother. And everybody counted us out, and I felt like if God ever was trying to get my boy's attention, maybe he did right there. And one of them reporters come up to me after the game, and they had the camera in my face and said, "What in the world did you tell them boys before the game?" And so I started telling that reporter. I told him that little story about Elisha, and he just looked at me like I was a crazy person. And this man, he found me the next day, and he said, I just want you to know, do you know how many people have seen that little interview of you? And I can't remember the exact number, but it was so many thousands. And then he told me, I heard the story of Elisha defeating the Syrian army there. And I thought, God, he can work if we let him. Next season rolled around, and one of them boys come to me, and he said, "Coach, we sure could use a good story again." And I felt like Mike in that barber. And I thought, Lord, they're asking me to tell them about you. Lord, thank you, Lord. I'm in a good place to preach the word right in the locker room.
That's right. That's right.
And I just felt like God can work if we let Him. We live in such a troubled world, and I just try to take everything that we're going through and think, what would Jesus have us to do? I feel like He wants each and every one of us to be up and about the Father's business. I'm going to give way, and one of you brothers to come on. You guys, come on.
Sounds like you.